Welcome to our March edition of Quick Kit. Let's start off looking at a new product we developed in-house. We released our FX9 loop mod kit for the FX6 LCD earlier this month, and we will be doing a full video later this week. This mod allows FX6 shooters to use the FX9 loop with the FX6 LCD without the EVF falling out of place because the hinge can't handle the extra weight of the loop. Our mod fixes this and gives the EVF much more flexible positioning. It's a great option if you're wanting to use the FX6 LCD as both a screen and an EVF when you need to. Keep an eye on our channel for our video coming up soon. There have been a range of new rigging releases over the past month as well. Smallrig have recently released a range of new products which look to provide some awesome solutions. First off, they've released a range of accessories for the P6KPro. This includes a basic cage, standard accessory kit, pro kit, screen protector, hood, 15mm clamp for that cage, SSD mount, and cable protector clamp. This now means that people will finally be able to rig up the P6KPro in whatever way they need to. Depending on what you need, it's good to have an option for a full rig or just a basic cage, but as you expect, Smallrig seem to provide some of the best bang for buck rigging options on the market, and it's great to finally see the P6KPro getting some cage options. Smallrig have also released a few accessories for the FX3, most importantly being a cage. This design looks good with a range of mounting points and ARRI locating points for solid accessory mounting. The cage is also Chrosziw compatible, which means it will mount straight onto the RS2 and RS-C2, which will be handy. They also released a little sun hood for the FX3 and A7S III and a Bluetooth start-stop remote for Sony cameras. This remote actually looks quite cool because you can mount it in several different ways, so it could be handy for a range of scenarios such as shoulder configurations where you want to start-stop without hitting the record button on the camera. We mentioned some C70 rigging in our last roundup, and we have some more options this month with Chrosziel releasing their accessories for the C70. This cage is different to the existing C70 kits because it's a full cage, and whether that makes sense for your rig is down to you, but it's great to have a range of options on the market now. Tilta have announced two sets of accessories also. These are for the Sony FX6 and C300 Mark III and C500 Mark II. The FX6 accessories look nice and their vertical solutions look to be a really good solution for people wanting to shoot in that orientation. It's great to see more FX6 accessories hitting the market, and I'm looking forward to testing the kit once we get our hands on our demo unit. The accessories for the C300 Mark III and C500 Mark II look pretty similar to the FX6 sets. Minimal design but great functionality with the rest of Tilta's ecosystem. This looks to be a pretty fleshed out set of accessories, and I do like the look of them, but I want to get them in-house for us to rig up and test properly first. Ignite Digi have released a new power backplate for the KOMODO which uses DJI's fantastic TB50 batteries. With Ignite Digi starting out designing accessories for the gimbal world, they've created some great accessories around DJI's TB50s, which are used to power the Ronin 2 and Inspire 2, and are fantastic batteries. With the KOMODO being the size it is, it makes more sense that people will be flying it on a Movi Pro over a Ronin 2, and Ignite Digi make an adapter to use the TB50s on the Movi Pro. So for owners of the Movi and KOMODO, this could unify the batteries across them. It also looks well put together and provides a range of power inputs and outputs. This is a very specific solution, but could be a great option for people who have an existing set of TB50 batteries and are at KOMODO. CoreSWX also released two new plates for the FX6, as well as a Hotswap plate for their micro batteries. The Hotswap plate attaches directly onto a normal V or gold mount plate source and allows you to mount two of CoreSWX's nano micro batteries and then allows you to hot swap them. It has a single power tap on the plate, and I do wish it had some more options, but the nano micro batteries have a 5V 3A USB output and an unregulated P-tap output. The plate for the FX6 attaches to the back of the camera using two of the screws on the top of the camera. It then plugs into the DC port on the back. It can also flip up and down, and you can also use a BPU 100 battery in the back of the camera while using the plate, allowing you to hot swap the batteries. Once the V-mount on the back dies, it will automatically pull power from the BPU, and you will see the battery indicator on the viewfinder change. It has a 19.5V DC output with a visual low battery warning LED on the side and a DC barrel input so you can power it via the included power supply. In addition, it's equipped with a power tap and a USB to power additional accessories. It looks like a great little solution for FX6 owners. Let's move on to some software and firmware, which there has been so much announced this month. First, Red dropped a brand new beta firmware for the KOMODO 1.5.0, and this is a massive update with some truly awesome additions making this amazing camera even better. One of the standout features for me is the addition of anamorphic support, which this camera desperately needed. With this update, the KOMODO can generate an FTPS network via Wi-Fi or with the link adapter plus a USB-C to Ethernet adapter. This was something I mentioned in our KOMODO vs S6G video we released the other week, so it's nice to see such a massive update fixing so many things I mentioned in that video. Red also seems to have unlocked the Canon RF lens control ring, which they did mention before wouldn't be possible, so it's awesome to see that they have somehow unlocked it. I'm intrigued to see how this works on camera. Overall, this update looks awesome. I can't wait to get it on a camera and see everything that's new. ARRI have also announced their upcoming SUP 7 for the Alexa Mini LF, which has some long-awaited features, one of the most requested being the addition of Super 35 formats, which we now have a few of. This is awesome to see and will make the Alexa Mini LF a much more versatile camera for owners and rentals to invest into. ARRI haven't confirmed a date for when this should be available to download, but it's an exciting update for sure. Panasonic have announced a range of new firmware for the S1H, S1, S1R, S5 and BGH1. The biggest updates in my mind being the addition of BRAW output to the S1H, which is a really awesome addition for anyone with an S1H wanting to shoot RAW while still being able to process it in Resolve. Hopefully we see this added to the rest of the Panasonic lineup eventually, as I think it would be a great addition to them, especially the S5 and the S1. Talking about the S1, it has also seen a new update which actually adds quite a lot. It has gained a huge range of new internal formats, as well as the ability to output ProRes RAW via the HDMI. Here are all the additional formats and RAW output options. You can also now switch between the two base ISOs manually instead of automatically like it did before. The BGH1 has also had a few new features added, two most noteworthy being the addition of the ability to output ProRes RAW via the HDMI and direct IP streaming to a PC at up to 4K 60 frames per second. Sony have also released firmware 1.0.1 for the FX6, and this is fixing a specific issue where the EI value is not reflected correctly during playback when in Cine EI mode, as well as just overall improvements to the stability of the camera. Link to the download for this in the description below. Blackmagic released firmware 3.4 for their Video Assist external recorders recently, which brings a range of improvements across the entire Video Assist line. The first feature is the addition of individual clip scrubbing on both the 3G and 12G models. This allows you to zoom in on individual clips when in loop mode, giving you more control when scrubbing through your timeline, so you can quickly and easily review your most recently recorded takes. 3.4 should also bring improved color calibration and accuracy across all models. In addition to this, Blackmagic have also added support for Blackmagic RAW recording with new Series 2 Nikon Z6 and Z7 cameras for all Video Assist 12G HDR models. We haven't looked at Nikon mirrorless cameras too much, but this is a welcomed update for sure. FrameIO announced their camera to cloud service with a really impressive video that showcases why this announcement could be a real game changer for set-based work, especially with how COVID has affected workflow while on set. I really suggest watching the full video, link to which is in the description below, but essentially Camera to Cloud uses integrations with Teradek and sound devices to provide a metadata-rich wireless cloud-based workflow solution for every point of a post-production workflow. FrameIO look to have created a truly simple and streamlined process for this, and I'm so excited to learn more about it and see it in action myself. Again, it's really worth watching the full video explaining it, as it really is going to be a game changer. Now let's talk about some lenses, of which Sony have released 4 this month, and this started with the 50mm f1.2G Master, which we reviewed earlier this month, and long story short, it's a fantastic lens with excellent optical performance and size. They also released 3 new G primes. All of these lenses have been aimed to be as small and lightweight as possible, while still having good optical performance. They all feature declickable iris rings, linear manual focus motors, and focus hold button on their housing. I'm quite intrigued to test these to see what their autofocus and optical performance is like, as they could be a very solid option for compact primes for use with gimbals. Hopefully we get to test them soon. There have also been a range of new camera releases this month. The original Sigma FP was a bit of an odd camera, and Sigma have just released an updated version, the FPL. It shares lots of its DNA with the original FP, but now features a 61MP full frame sensor, a hybrid autofocus system with contrast and phase detection points, a function called crop zoom, and USB charging. We mainly recommended the original FP as a director's viewfinder, and with the price tag that the FPL has, it's up against some serious competition, and without testing it, we can't really say what the image is like. Sigma have also announced the EVF11, which will work with the original FP, as well as the new FPL. This could be a very welcomed accessory for FP owners. Vision Research have also released a new camera, the TMX7510. And this new camera uses a backside illuminated sensor, which has allowed vision research to increase the efficiency of the camera processing. The camera has a maximum resolution of 1280 by 800, which you can shoot at 76,000 frames per second. At reduced resolutions, the camera will record up to 770,000 frames per second in standard mode and up to 1.75 million frames per second and 95 ns in the camera's fast mode. This camera is definitely more aimed for scientific purposes than cine, but it's an interesting step for vision research because of the addition of the BSI sensor. Up next, Canon have also announced 3 UHD PTZ cameras, the CRX 500, the CRN 500 and the CNN 300. We've been talking about PTZ cameras more and more since the pandemic began. Because of the restrictions the pandemic has created on set, a camera that can be operated and captured remotely over IP could be a solid option for certain productions. Canon makes some fantastic sensors and have made security cameras in the past, so it makes sense for them to venture into this market. Let us know if you'd like us to look at these cameras more in the comments below. Digi have also released their FPV drone, which isn't strictly aimed at filmmakers, but FPV shots have been getting more and more popular as of late, as the movements you can achieve with these drones are very different to your standard Mavic or Phantom movements. And this new drone can fly up to 140 km an hour and go from 0 to 100 km per hour in just 2 seconds while in M mode, which is pretty nuts. This definitely isn't a replacement to the regular drones that DJI offer, but it gives people who are wanting to learn how to fly an FPV drone an accessible option from arguably the biggest brand in drones. The Insta360 GO 2 is the follow-up to the original Go, and it looks like Insta360 have listened to their end users' feedback from the original Go and improved the Go 2 in a range of ways. It weighs just 27 grams, is IPX8 waterproof rated, comes with a redesigned charging case, and can capture 2560 by 1440 at up to 50 frames per second, and has Insta360's flow state stabilization. The sheer size of the thing and the magnetic mounting system is what is really interesting to me. It could provide a unique angle or shot that something larger wouldn't allow. Let us know if you have any ideas for what you could capture with the Go 2 down below. Litepanels have announced 2 new products, the first being the Lykos Plus kit. These new small LED panels confused me when I saw them because I swore Manfrotto made them, and I was kind of right. However, the Litepanels versions are different and are around 40% brighter as they use the same lensing technology as the bigger Astra lights. And this could be a good travelling light solution as the fixtures are small, light, and you can even pick up a 3-light kit with 3 stands, filters, softboxes and a Pelly case for it all, which is a really nice travelling kit. Litepanels also released the Apollo Bridge Wireless DMX system, which uses dynamic frequency hopping technology to create a robust wireless DMX network in an instant. Though it has been optimised for use with Litepanels Gemini, Apollo is designed to work with a wider range of lighting fixtures than any other system, giving you complete choice and control over any fixture with a DMX input. It also has an app for iOS, which gives you real-time control of every aspect of your lighting, from a single light fixture to the largest productions. I'm interested to test this one in our studio. We've been helping more and more customers with streaming solutions over the past year, and one brand that has some really key accessories for streaming is Elgato. They recently released 3 new products. These were the Wave panels, which look to be a solid soundproofing solution for streamers and content creators. They are a touch more expensive than your standard foam solutions, but not as pricey as other solutions and look to perform pretty well. I'm actually looking at getting some of these for my home recording setup that I'm in right now. They also released a set of RGB light strips, which look like the hundreds of lighting strips already on the market, but have been designed specifically for content creation. So they have no flicker, better color accuracy, and can be controlled via a Stream Deck or via your phone or computer. If you're looking to add a splash of color to your setup, this could be a really cool way to do so. Lastly, it's probably the most niche, which is a green mouse mat. This is so live streamers that want to show their mouse hand can key their hand out, but I could see other people using it if they need a tabletop green screen solution. Last but not least, Deity have released their V-Link cable, which is a 3.5mm TRS to XLR adapter. And this is so you can use 3.5mm video mics with cameras or recorders that only have XLR inputs. It can also convert the 48V phantom power that an XLR can provide and convert it into a 3V plug-in power signal. Both Rode and Saramonic make similar cables, but the Deity one is the most affordable option now. If you enjoyed this, please make sure you subscribe ready for next month's quick kit, and let us know what kit you've picked up this month in the comments below, and thank you again so much for watching.